Welcome to today's video on high altitude investing. In today's video we're going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin, my next projected resistance zones, and really just talk about the technicals going into that and kind of the panic caused in altcoins. So let's get right into this. Alright, so I'm back and it's just me and the Bitcoin chart again. So we're going to be talking about what happened here, kind of what I think is going to happen next, and what might happen to altcoins, and kind of go over all of those things because I know that this caused a lot of panic in altcoins, which is making people sell them to very, very, very low levels, which they should bounce soon, but I'll talk about that here in a second. Yeah, Bitcoin, wow. Talk about taking the spotlight. And you know, as we get into the weekend, we just broke the $5,700, $5,800 range, the previous all-time high, and we just hit $6,000 on Bitcoin. If you follow me on TradingView, then you already knew that I thought this was going to happen. As you can see, if we go over here to my TradingView, I did predict this actually, so we'll go ahead and check out this prediction. Kind of go over what I predicted and how I saw this coming. So I said Bitcoin short-term weakness to the $5,000 to $5,200 range, and then it would bounce back up towards $6,000. So this was posted for free on my TradingView actually. This went right along with my idea for it going to $10,000. So this is a very normal move in a market. I just saw the short-term weakness coming, that it was losing its trend angles, and so I predicted it would drop down to around where it broke out. Sure enough, it actually wicked. That wick nailed that that line that I drew. So I ended up getting that like 100% perfectly, and as you can see, has bounced up towards $6,000 as I said it would there. So you know, Bitcoin doing very, very well in these areas. I did, like I said, pick up some more entries right here, because you know, I knew that that was going to be a good buy order area. And this actually looks very similar to what happened right here in the markets back here around August 14th. Yeah, August 14th in the markets right here when Bitcoin started to top out, and then we had a bear trap happen right here, and the bulls picked right back up and broke out. So that's similar to what we had happen right here. Is a breakout, a fall, and then you know, that bear trap and the bulls just take over again. So I'm suspecting the next projected resistance zones to be, as you can see in the bottom of this TradingView idea, I state that 6,300, 7,000, 8,000 should be very significant resistance zones. So these are areas that I'm watching. I don't expect any big sell-off in the 6,300 range, just like a short-term correction of some shorts in this area. Some shorts should be taking on right here and then fall back a little bit, but it shouldn't be anything crazy. I do suspect the bigger correction to come around the $8,000 mark, and then that should be the last correction before the $10,000 range, depending on how far this thing actually goes. You can't know for sure. That's why we'll just use a trailing stop loss and bring our stop loss up higher and higher as Bitcoin goes up higher, because this literally could go to any number. You can't like know for sure what it's going to do, but 10,000 I would suspect to be very, very significant in the resistance area for Bitcoin. It's a psychological number, and it would make sense that that would be a very, very significant sell-off at the $10,000 range. So we can't know for sure, but that's kind of the area that I'm expecting it to do at least, and you know, been predicting that it would. And it looks like it's following this out very nicely, just as planned. So this is just, you know, starting to build a ton of buying momentum now that it shook out all the panic right here, shook out all the panic right here. Now it just has tons of buying pressure behind it. So it's bouncing out of the lows. Anybody that panic sold Bitcoin at any point, basically, in the last few years, since I got into Bitcoin, basically anytime you're only losing if you sold. That's literally how Bitcoin worked for the last few years, is you're only losing if you sold it. if you're buying it and buying it and buying it and buying it, you can't lose. So, you know, until you get to the top of the market and then it becomes a bearish market, then you can lose. But that might be a ways away. We don't know for sure how it will react up at these highs, but that's why we'll use technical analysis to kind of see what might come out of that. But that is the next potential resistance zones are the 6,300, the $7,000 mark might have a little bit of resistance, but really that $10,000 mark is the big number, the main one to be watching. So that's kind of my thoughts on Bitcoin. That's what's happening here. It's really exciting. It's been such a fun ride. I know that we've been buying it on my YouTube channel. I've been talking about buying Bitcoin and how it's my biggest position and how I've always preached Bitcoin is the best one to long-term hold and buy. And it's just because it has the best track record. It bounces. It's easily predictable. It's the biggest one. It has the most hype. It's just the most secure place to put your money. And so that's why I've always preached Bitcoin, and I knew that it was going to play out very parabolic because it had been consolidating for a long time, averaging very good volume. So it had an impulsive move behind it. So that's why we've always talked Bitcoin. I knew that it was going to moon really hard. So it's just a very solid investment here. I will be taking out all of my profits at the top and looking to buy the dip, though. I'm not going to try to like long hold out at the top at all. So just be warned of that. Now, altcoins, a lot of them are dipping hard, so we'll just go over one or two here really fast and talk about my thoughts because, you know, it's panic, so I want to talk about that because panic rebounds. This did fall below the support levels, so although I do suspect a bounce here in Ripple, we will have to see how hard that bounces because if this doesn't bounce very hard and this doesn't start a bullish market cycle, then Ripple will probably do a bigger retracement. It'll probably retrace back down further. It really depends on how Bitcoin goes and if people keep panic selling their alts to get into Bitcoin. It looks, I mean, clearly it broke below the support here, Ripple did. So it's likely that we see this dump lower from here and pull back, which isn't what I originally anticipated with Ripple. I was suspecting it to bounce off of one of these lows right here, and it still could, but we'd have to see it pull up into the Ichimoku cloud very quickly. So it's just something you want to watch for. It is oversold on the daily, so there's no reason to panic sell the bottom. It's been dumping for like a week, so it will pump back up. So if you bought, you know, anywhere along here, then I would just get ready to try and take some of your profits out or set a stop loss. Keep your stop losses, you guys. This is why you use stop losses, so you don't get stuck in these coins and have to ride these huge panic sells. But yeah, Ripple did turn around, not quite expected, but it is retracing a little bit more than usual. So altcoins are bleeding out right now for the most part. Even Ethereum's taking a little bit of a bleed, especially against Bitcoin. Like the Ethereum prices are bleeding hard versus the Bitcoin chart. On the dollar, it's holding pretty well, honestly, because Ethereum has a lot of buying power behind it. But just goes to show that this is why you use trading plans, this is why you use stop losses, because if you don't, you will get stuck in coins, and then you will have to ride these huge dips on the downside, and then you'll lose a bunch of money, and that's not what, you know, that's not the goal of trading in cryptocurrency. You use stop losses, so you get stopped out, cut your losses really quickly if you're not right really fast on your trade. So yeah, altcoins are retracing a little bit further than expected, but there's no reason to panic sell the lows because you will be able to get out at a little bit of a better price on the bounce. But as far as how much they bounce, we'll have to see, because if they don't bounce hard, then Bitcoin might take the spotlight on the fifth wave of the market cap, and then altcoins might be something you want to avoid for a while. So it really depends on how things play out. But this is, again, why I preach trading plans and why I preach trading in general, because long-term investing, you never know what's going to happen. That's why I do top 10 by market cap, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, the big ones, because those ones have a better chance of success long term. But as far as trading goes, trading is something you get in and out really quickly over and over. That's the ultimate goal behind it. So that's kind of my thoughts on the entire markets. I hope that this helped inform some people, give you guys my ideas on things. So we will keep updated and see how things play out over the next little while. Strongly suggest that you have some Bitcoin. I wouldn't buy the top, wait for a red day, watch my trading view because I post entries for this type of stuff. So watch my trading view or join the VIP and get the exact entry when I buy it. You can do that on my website if you're interested in that, highaltitudecrypto.io. But yeah, definitely Bitcoin is looking good. Should head towards 10,000. So keep stacking them Bitcoins and watch for the bounce on alts to see how hard we bounce, to see if we can have any type of upward momentum pick back up in them. But they have shown some signs of weakness, so we need to see some hard bounces to have that faith come back into the altcoin markets. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll switch back to my other camera. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you learned something. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. And as always, stay profitable.